Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. The practice I have for you today is the HASTA mudras that relate to our pranayama, our breathing practice. So HASTA means hand and mudra is gesture. And so when we perform our HASTA mudras, we're trying to direct prana to certain parts of our body, parts of our breathing. So prana being our life force, or the air, the breath, hence pranayama, the practice of breathing. So when you're ready, if you find a comfortable seated position, you can do this any time of the day. You can do it even if you're sat in your work clothes or your pajamas, like whatever feels comfortable. There's no need to even be sitting on your mat. You can do this sitting in a chair, sitting on the sofa, whatever feels good. I would recommend sitting up though rather than lying down if that's comfortable. So when you're ready, get yourself comfy and we'll begin. Wonderful. So we'll go through the different mudras first, and then we'll close the eyes and we'll practice them. So the first mudra that we will practice is Chin mudra. So that's palms facing up, thumb and index finger coming together. Now this mudra connects us to that abdominal breath, so sends the prana, that life force, into that bottom part of the breathing. So breathing right the way down, allowing the belly to fully expand with the inhale as the diaphragm goes down, and settle with the exhale as the diaphragm returns to its original position. So that Chin mudra, calming, grounding. You often see it in pictures of people doing yoga, or we sometimes use it in our practice to help with balance. So maybe when we're doing dancer's pose, we'll hold Chin mudra to help with that grounding and balancing. So then if you want to connect the dots, that means that when we breathe right down, using that abdominal breath, also balancing and grounding. So when you're doing your balancing poses in yoga, make sure you keep that breath nice and slow and steady. It'll help you balance. It's all connected. The next mudra we will use is Chinmaya mudra. So for that, keeping the hands with the thumb and index finger together, you're going to curl the remaining 3 fingers in towards the palm. So now they don't have to press hard, just a gentle pressure of the 3 fingers in towards the palm. Now this gesture sends the prana towards the middle part of the breath, so the thoracic breath. So with that, we're breathing into the rib cage, allowing the ribs to lift and open on the inhale and come in and down on the exhale. Now when you do this part of the breath, it's not that we're then discounting the lower part of the breath. You'll still be breathing down and allowing that belly to expand, but our focus is on the middle part of the breath. So that middle part of the breath relates more to the activity side. So you'll notice when we're doing something such as Surya Namaskara, where we're doing our sun salutation, your breathing comes a little bit further up in the lungs, a little bit further up in the body. So your rib cage starts to move more, lifts and opens. So it's a more active breath. And then the next mudra is Adi mudra. So for Adi mudra, we fold the thumb in towards the palm and curl the fingers around the thumb. Now Adi mudra comes to that top part of the breath, so the clavicular breath, breathing right up into the top lobe of the lungs. Now this, I can't get my words out, this aspect of the breath can sometimes be interesting. That's where I couldn't get my words out. This aspect can sometimes be related to feeling a little bit anxious. We often feel like we're breathing right up into the chest and that we feel short of breath when we feel stressed, anxious. That doesn't mean that it's not something that we should practice, but it's something we should be conscious of when we practice. So be aware of the effect when you breathe up right into that top part of the lungs. It's still part of our breathing. So as breathing is a muscular action, it's still good to be able to practice consciously breathing into that top part of the lungs. And the more we can recognize how that feels, the more when the body does it subconsciously and we start to feel anxious, we can notice the feeling and bring our breathing back down again. And then the last mudra is Brahma mudra. So for Brahma mudra, we bring the knuckles together, fingers facing up towards you. So if you look down, you should be able to see your knuckles. And then we bring the hands just to rest, sort of in that notch where the ribs come together. So just resting the arms there, elbows out to the sides and sitting up nice and tall. Now this connects to our full yogic breath. So that full breath all the way through the abdominal, thoracic and clavicular breath. So when we use that Brahma mudra, it's creating that beautiful balance, breathing in and coming up from the lower, middle, top, and breathing out from the top, middle, lower. So imagining that inhale comes all the way up and the exhale comes all the way down. So when you're ready, we'll close the eyes and I'll guide you into those mudras. If you can keep the eyes closed throughout it, that's great. If you need to have a little sneak peek, then do. So take a moment just settling the body, lowering the gaze or closing the eyes. And just taking a moment, drawing the awareness in. Letting the awareness come to settle on the breath. And before changing or altering it, just be aware of how that breath is naturally flowing. Now the practice of HASTA mudras is a very subtle practice. So sometimes if you're fairly new to yoga or breathing practices, it can seem like there isn't too much change with each mudra. That's okay. Just continue to practice. Notice the effects. Notice how you feel. If you can keep a diary, that can be helpful and you can become aware of any changes through the days and weeks of practicing. But throughout this practice, just try to keep the awareness on the breath. Not forcing the breath anywhere. Just simple breath awareness. And so we'll bring the hands into Chin Mudra, thumb and index finger coming together. Try to let the breath move in and out through the nose. And just allow it to be smooth and even. And then we'll move into Chinmaya mudra. So thumb and index fingers stay together, curling the remaining 3 fingers in towards the palm. mudra, folding the thumb in towards the palm. Curl the fingers around the thumb. And coming into Brahma mudra, so knuckles coming together, hands facing up towards you. Bringing the hands to rest just where the ribs come together. And letting go of the mudra, bringing the hands to rest either down on the legs or in the lap. Just take a moment checking in and noticing how you're feeling within yourself. And when you feel ready, just bringing the chin down towards the chest. Ease the body a little. Let the eyes gently open. And when you feel ready, lifting the gaze. Great. So I hope you enjoyed that practice and it's left you feeling good. If you want to practice this without the video, it can be a nice practice to do 27 of each mudra, because that adds up to 108 in total, which is a significant number within the belief system of yoga and Ayurveda. You can find out more about that either reading about it, or I'll maybe do a video about it at some point. But that can be quite a nice practice. I will pop a picture on Instagram along with when I pop this video up of the different mudras, so that you can see the mudras as well and hopefully practice for yourself. So thank you for joining me today, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you here again soon. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it. I really appreciate it. Om Shanti.